Hello and good evening, everyone. So, we are on day 4, December the 4th, 2025. We're in the last month of the year. So, today I want to talk about patience. The patience has been in the forefront of many of my trials and tribulations. And of course, many lessons learned through this thing called patience. We've heard so many times patience is a virtue. We've heard that phrase. It's one of those sayings that gets repeated so often, it actually almost risks losing its meaning. But let's pause and ask, why is patience called a virtue? What makes it more than just a nice idea? Well, my organization is Women of Virtue. I had a company called Virtue Incorporated. I'm all into virtue. So, a virtue is a quality that elevates us, that strengthens our character. It makes us better, not only for ourselves, but for those that are around us. So, patience definitely fits in perfectly. Patience is like moral strength. Okay. It's the ability to endure hardship without bitterness, to wait without resentment, to trust without demanding instant gratification. And that is not easy. It takes discipline, and discipline is the heart of virtue. I'm telling you, it is not easy. You know how people say, I am losing my patience. That's almost an inverted way of saying this thing got on my last nerve. I don't have any more nerves. My patience is worn, but we have to also look at that patience is compassion. When we practice patience, we give grace to others. We allow space for mistakes, for growth, for timing that isn't ours to control, which is, again, a very, very, very hard thing. And that generosity of spirit is a virtue because it builds connection instead of division. Patience is also wisdom. It teaches us that not every battle is won by rushing. Sometimes you just have to slow down. Where this is, the race is not given to the swift, but to those that endure. And sometimes you want that race to be over and done with. You want the lesson to be done with. You want to get your grade of an A, a passing grade, so that you can move on to the next thing. But every battle is not won by rushing. Some victories come only to those who wait. They that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings of the eagle. And also know that we will run and not be weary. So as those victories come to those that have the patience, that wait, who prepare, who actually endure, wisdom is knowing when to act and when to hold back. So it's knowing, okay, this is when I really need for my patience to kick in, because this may be a long road, a long haul. And a lot of times you got to ask, please, God, give me some patience. Patience with your children, patience on the job, patience at home, patience with yourself. During my furlough, I had to live this truth. Waiting for the government to reopen wasn't just about time, it was about trust. It was about believing that the season of uncertainty would end. Not knowing when, though, really was a mind game. It played on me in every area. When I couldn't see the finish line, I felt like I was, like I told a lot of people, I felt like I was just in this never ending fog. The fog just was so thick that I couldn't see a break in it, you know? And but in that waiting, patience really became more like survival. If I did not muster up the will or the ability to be patient, I probably would have went cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. Truthfully. I mean, it became my teacher. It taught me resilience. It taught me how to sit and wait, but in the waiting, believe that all things will work together for my good. That I will make it through. That a way will be made out of no way. It taught me perspective. It taught me that virtue isn't always loud. It can be quiet, steady, and enduring. So yes, patience is a virtue. Not because it makes waiting easier, but because it makes us stronger, kinder, and wiser. It transforms waiting into growth, uncertainty into resilience, and hardship into character. And when the waiting ends, and it always does, we don't just return to where we were. We emerge refined. We emerge prepared. We emerge with the quiet strength that only patience can give. So I say to anyone that is standing in the way, that they need to grab hold to patience and let patience work within you. I know it's hard. Believe you me, I know it's hard, because patience, sometimes you have to grab hold to it because you are standing in a place of uncertainty, even when you're dealing with a child, a parent, a friend, a spouse, your job, your finances, all these things. It's about patience. So, can we all just pause? Can we all just pause and try to think on some things? You know, what happens to us when we're forced to wait? Did you ever at one point grow bitter? If you grew bitter, and that is something that can happen, because in a sense, at the very beginning of a lot of things, I was developing bitterness. But see, you go through all these stages in the process of being patient. And then as you work through each stage, the negative parts will drop off. The bitterness, the uneasiness, the constant doubt. And then you will eventually find some level of peace. You'll find peace in the patience. You'll grow stronger, because patience isn't really about doing nothing. It's actually about choosing hope when despair feels easier. Just think about a time when you had no control over the outcome. Did you A lot of times we will automatically go to panic, but after going through the panic, were you able to kinda, like, sit back and start resting in patience? How often do we rush through life and we want instant answers because, we've become like an instant society. The microwave, the this, the that, I want it now, I want it now. But when the greatest lessons come in the waiting, we just need to learn how to practice patience. And I'm one who will do that every day. I am working on patience that will help me be compassionate, resilient, and definitely more wise. And when the waiting ends, let's walk in the transformation that it helped to bring about. So, you all have a great evening and have some sweet sleep. And may you be blessed continuously and walk in patience.